Hello there, movie recap zones here. Today I will make sense of an Indian parody dramatization film called BAJRANGI BAIJAAN. Spoilers ahead. Look out and fare thee well. In the slopes of Sultanpur, Pakistan carries on with a 6-year-old quiet young lady named Shahida. One evening, she is playing on a slope when she coincidentally tumbles off it. At the point when she doesn't get back before the day's over, the locals put together a pursuit party. Night time of looking. They observe the young lady on a branch dist ending from the slope. She had been stuck on it all day long yet couldn't call for help in view of her inability. The next morning, her folks and neighbors talk about how should be helped her. A more seasoned man proposes they take more time to the sanctum of Sufi holy person Nizamuddin Aulia in Delhi, India. The strict family accepts that a visit to the blessed hallowed place will give harmony and joy and above all, re-establish Shahida's discourse. Shahida's dad used to be in the military and has battled against the Indian armed force. He is certain that he will not be given a visa to India. Consequently, her mom Razia willingly volunteers to go a long way from the town. Interestingly, the excursion goes as made arrangements for the most part. The two arrive at the place of worship, pay contributions and get on a train back to their nation of origin. On the bring venture back. The train stops for fixes around evening time. Whenever everybody is sleeping, Shahida sees a sheep caught in a pit just external the train. She doesn't think much prior to going outside to help the creature. Nonetheless, the train restarts before she can get back to her mom. The young lady runs towards it, however is in the long run abandoned. In a frantic endeavor to go the same way that her mom did, she sheets a cargo train. In any case, regrettably, it goes switch way and stops in Kurukshetra, India. Reza sees her little girl is missing and stops the train. Police officers are named to search for the young lady around the track where she was lost. Be that as it may, they can't track down her since Shahida has previously arrived at a better place. Reza meets her significant other who is stressed to death over his girl. They can't return a quick visa once again to India, sadly. The guardians have no alternate way except for to ask that their little girl is protected. In the meantime, Shahida is currently lost in an alternate country with no real way to convey. In a strict festivity, she sees a more bizarre eating at a roadside cafe. The outsider is the caring Pawan Kumar Chaturvedi who welcomes her to have a supper with him. Following a couple of moments of attempting to inspire her to talk, he understands she is quiet and starts calling her money. A destitute money completes the food and chases after Pawan, expecting that she was isolated from her folks. During the celebration, he requests that she stay before a sanctuary. Pawan is an ardent Hindu Brahmin, also a vigorous aficionado of Lord Hanuman. He accepts that Lord Hanuman will bring money back home in the event that she remains before his sanctuary. At the point when money actually doesn't quit following him, he carries her to the police headquarters. Yet, since she can't perceive them any insights concerning her folks, the police can trust that somebody will record a missing objection until her folks are found. Money needs a spot to remain. Subsequently, Pawan takes her in. While heading to his home in Delhi, he advises Money to call him Mama on the off chance that she at any point talks from here on out. He additionally begins naming different Indian urban areas, requesting that she gesture assuming she knows what city her folks are in. Every one of the travelers on the transport help him, yet not a solitary one of them name urban communities outside of India. As they talk, Pawan lets everybody know how he came to Delhi for work. A flashback shows the time. He was in secondary school. He was a normal understudy who would never breeze through the last assessment. All his companions cheated and happened with their lives, however Pawan wouldn't cheat or lie, being a valid lover of Lord Hanuman. Ultimately, he gave his 11th attempt and came to Delhi to search for work. He remained with his dad's companion, Pandya, a severe Hindu who wouldn't let the devotees of some other religion go into his home. Pandya's little girl Rasika offered Pawan a work at the school she educated and experienced passionate feelings for his blameless persona. Be that as it may, being the severe father he is, Pandya requested that Pawan construct his own home prior to wedding his little girl. Indeed, even from that point forward, Pawan and Rasika have been endeavoring to gather cash. The two are bound to get hitched at some point 1 year from now. Everybody on the transport is intrigued by his story. He and Money arrive at his home where Rasika gets them in the entryway. She is happy that Pawan is helping a young lady out of luck, yet Pandya doesn't feel the same way. He is stressed over the likelihood that Money has a place with an alternate religion. That's what Pawan legitimizes. She is Hindu due to her light complexion tone and convinces Pandya to let her visit for a month. Money cries consistently in the memory of her folks despite the fact that Pawan and Rasika treat her like their own little girl. Since the whole family is veggie lover and Money is familiar with eating meat with each dinner, she scarcely at any point completes her food. At some point, Pawan and Rasika think that she is in a Muslim neighbor's home gobbling up home-cooked chicken. Pawan carries her to an eatery that evening and allows her to eat anything she prefers, despite the fact that eating meat is against his religion. Money is exceptionally enamored with the glittery bangles they sell on the roadside. One day while strolling down a market, she guiltlessly gets a bunch of bangles prior to being cummed by the seller. Pawan makes her return it and takes more time to the sanctuary to apologize to God for taking. As he educates her to join her hands, Money slips into a mosque close by. Pawan is reluctant to follow her inside, however. He does it at any rate. To his absolute astonishment, he sees her perusing the Quran before a holy place. For a couple of moments, he feels like she sold out him since he couldn't ever have become a close acquaintance with a Muslim. Yet, Rasika causes him to understand that she is a human prior to being Muslim. She detests that her dad victimizes individuals in view of their religion and believes Pawan should be unique. Pawan gets it and runs into the mosque to get Money, however at this point, she has proactively left. As he anxiously searches for her, she races to him and embraces him firmly. At that point, he acknowledges her totally, beating his silly anxiety toward conflicting with his religion. That evening is a cricket match against Pakistan and India. The whole family watches it on TV, rooting for India, aside from Money who cheers when Pakistan scores. At the point when the Pakistani group wins the game, she moves and kisses their banner through TV. Pawan approaches her and inquires as to whether she is from Pakistan. Following quite a while of shaking her head to each Indian city, Money at last gestures yes. Pandya is incensed. Being a Muslim was sufficiently awful, however, since the young lady is from Pakistan, he can never again permit her to remain at their home. Pawan vows to hand her to the Pakistani international safe haven the following day. Nonetheless, the government office specialist can't permit her a visa without an identification. For Money's situation, they don't have the foggiest idea about her genuine name, so a visa assignment is inconceivable. Besides, a mob happens before the consulate that shuts all visa handling for a month. If all else fails, Pawan takes more time to a travel planner at Pandya's idea. The specialist guarantees to take the young lady to the opposite side of the boundary and requests 1 lakh rupees. Pawan and Rakasa surrender the assets they had gathered for their home to help money. The following day, Pawan hesitantly carries money to the travel planner's office and leaves after a sorrowful goodbye. Returning, he sees a road merchant selling glittery bangles. He recalls that Money enjoyed them and gets one for her. In any case, on getting back to the travel planner's office, he figures out that he has been cheated. The specialist has taken the young lady to a whorehouse and is going to sell her into prostitution. The generally formed Pawan blows his top at seeing the specialist counting charges that he produced using money. He tosses the man through of the window and brings Money home once more. Pawan has settled on the choice to bring Money home himself. Despite the fact that he has no associations or thoughts regarding Pakistani towns, he gathers his packs and advances toward the boundary. A couple of miles from it, they meet a spy named Ali who wrongfully moves individuals to the opposite side through a passage. Subsequent to paying attention to Money's story, he consents to take more time for nothing. Whenever they arrive at Pakistan's side of the line, Ali takes off. However, being a ruler Hanuman's fan, Pawan won't do without inquiring the gatekeepers for authorization. At the point when the officials observe him, they beat him up as Money watches and cries. Pawan claims to snicker even while being beaten so the young lady wouldn't be apprehensive. In the wake of figuring out the justification behind his movement, the head officer requests that he do anything he desires in the accompanying 10 minutes before they return for the following round. Pawan chooses to sit tight for them, since they have still not allowed him. Albeit the thought is doltish and he gets thrashed once more, he is ultimately permitted to go, with consent from the officers. In the accompanying scene, he and Money are in an eatery. Money sees a cop's spines and takes it, accepting that it is a wristband. The cop finds out and tosses Pawan behind bars, naming him as an Indian covert agent in light of the absence of an identification. Then, at that point, we are acquainted with a striving writer Chand Nawab. He learns about the supposed government operative and rushes to the police headquarters to talk with him. He finds a couple of obscure solutions from Pawan and illuminates the media organization that doesn't approach him in a serious way. Inside the police's